Four Shells, Chill Spot, Johnny's Barbershop, VJ's Restaurant, Video Extreme Entice, and Terrence Auto Care. Miss SVG 2023 Crown Jewels, Saturday, October 7th, 8 p.m., Victoria Park.
Now this is the version of the Rock Nation with a solid vibration. You're not far from the station, so take out your identification. Yeah.
No one ever can understand it. The way the system plans. There's no hope, no chance, no loophole, no escape for a sufferer man.
I just to bring out the Babylon planet. The right to find each and everyone every day. I don't do follow that to the Satan boy. I need to tell myself no feeling I'll lead you astray.
Still I'm putting up a resistance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work it out. You know I'm putting up a resistance. I'm gonna work it out.
No matter what the Babylon say, the children never go astray. All we got to do is to follow my feet and you hear me till big. I'm gonna kneel down on my knees and pray.
The pressure make me feel like holler when every sign says no way out. Breaking my back to make an overtime dollar.
You may tell you
that just goes from man to mouth. Still I'm
putting up some resistance, baby. Me sure we gonna work it out. You hear me tell you, I'm gonna putting up some resistance. You hear me? But I know we gonna work it out, yo. Say I'm putting up some resistance.
I'm gonna work it out.
What me say?
You know I'm
putting up some resistance. You hear me?
I'm gonna work it out.
Yes, so we not go follow Babylon. Make him and them kingdom go down. So why you not gonna set up a plan? Don't let the money run from hand to hand.
All right, it's that time indeed here on a Monday morning for us to share the morning with you. A little late, but better late than never. Don't blame me this morning, all right? Yeah, I was here since 6 o'clock this morning.
Blame bling. But up till all this soda, blame bling.
We're going to putting up some resistance. Putting up a resistance.
To make some dollars.
Well, good morning to you, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Eastern Caribbean. It's that time where we certainly get interactive here on a Monday morning. It is the morning scoop up until about 9. We'll possibly go, beyond the 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah. Because my fault this morning. It's really my fault this morning. Absolutely my fault this morning. And when you're accustomed to taking certain routes, right? Like where I live, I just run off a hill, I good. But this morning I decided
run off a hill.
Yeah, just run off the hill. And you're good.
Okay.
And we enter the traffic, and by the time I leave home as well, the traffic hasn't kind of built up yet. But this morning I decided I had to run into Massey before I get to before I come in because I want to pick up something urgently. So I ran into Massey at Annisville. Line long this early morning because I'm there thinking
at least line long.
Yeah,
Monday morning
because you had 2 cashiers, right?
I thought we had
2 stations.
No money in this country, so people can't go to supermarket, place in crisis.
Listen, people going to buy breakfast. These sandwiches at Massey sell, right? Yeah, those packet sandwiches and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking young
professionals.
I'm not sure if they that thing yet. Maybe like 18, 19, just start working and so on. Yeah, 21. Even students picking up breakfast at Massey. Nowadays, Denny, we had a kind of money to spend because them sandwich day. You understand? Them sandwich is not cheap. You know what I mean? But anyway,
my morning started with porridge. I used to fed up eat porridge.
Listen, anything that grew could make porridge. Rice, potato, banana, plantain, dasheen, name it made porridge.
Flower pop.
Right? Well, that's Joby. My brother Joby, that's his thing. Flower pop. That's Joby thing. Right, Gemma? Flower pop is Joby thing. So I got there and I thought, maybe you should open a few more stations because it's early morning, people trying to get to work. But so I'm there for a few minutes and then I get out of the market and boom, there's traffic right there. So I'm stuck in traffic. I'm like, wow. This was new to me. So that kind of held me up this morning. My apologies to all of our listeners, including the one who fired them Miss Andrews, the wicked one who sent me the message. But that's all right. I don't call his name. But already we have some people on the live. We have Josette, we have Kojo, we have Phyllis, we have Faye, we have El Cata, we have Teresa, we have Joselle, we have Ulrika, we have Sylvina, we have Narissa, we have Rochelle, Caddy, Doreen, Verona. Good morning to all of you logged on this morning on Facebook. And if you log on YouTube, good morning to you as well. It's a beautiful Monday morning, Denny.
Yeah, absolutely lovely in the outside.
Yes, yes. It was a hot night last night, boy. Jeez, you. Me sleep good enough. Me sleep good at all. Me get some bite from mosquito here, cause I sweat. Ooh. I tell you, if you see me drop asleep this morning, no happening. I sleep good last night at all. But yesterday, I want to start on a sour note.
Sour.
Yeah, I have to start on a sour note. Because I read something in the papers, the shooting death of Mr. McIntosh.
Ah, yes.
Mr. McIntosh and I aren't necessarily friends. I don't know if he knows me. I'd way if I go to the gas station. But his wife, Miss Mac, Doris, lovely lady. Love that woman.
She is.
The netball and so forth. We became friends since she worked at the Ministry of Education. So that's years and years and years ago. We've always maintained a much more than cordial relationship. We joke around, and we, you know what I'm saying? She was appointed cultural ambassador, sporting ambassador recently. And when I read about the shooting of her husband, alleged homicide, my heart sunk really, and I
Same here, Sion.
I felt it for her, because at this point, and I mean, this is a highly gentleman doing the business, carrying on the business. He has a very brisk walk. If you ever see him walking and so forth, no doubt it was the end of the day. And I'm not commenting on the thing, because it's something on the investigation. But no doubt at the end of the day, he's walking home, and to meet his death like that, to be gunned down, I'm not human gentleman, and I think years ago he might have taught me economics, A-level economics, years ago. Ingrid and I think we did that class together. And so I really want to extend condolences to Miss Mac, my good friend, and wish her, I don't know how she's going to deal with this, but it must be a tough time for her, definitely. And you have to plead and on the one hand, and of course the police have the responsibility on the other, to try and deal with issues like these. Now, we understand completely that some people are bent on a life of crime. You get a gun. Somebody was telling me a story. It's not as a story, but it's a true thing. My good friend was in a particular area, and noticed three individuals, three young boys, no more than 21, 22, any of them. And two of them were harassing one. They hitting him and that they trying to scuffle him up and that kind of thing and so forth. And they grabbed him and tried to wrestle him to the ground, but he got away and he ran. He ran. And the other two were there. And then when you look, my friend is sitting in vehicle watching this happening, playing out right in front. And my friend says the one who ran came back, and so the other two decided to approach him, go back after him, and he pulled out a gun.
Wow.
And he said a big gun, not a pistol, a big gun, and he backed it up, and the other two tried to throw the frame. And so the question is, first of all, this young man, who's not even 21, 22, no party gun rest down. Because he just go, rest his hand on it, and came back with it. And he's that age and already has access to a firearm, more than likely an illegal one. So we have a problem.
We do.
We have a problem. And the unfortunate thing is that in these circumstances, the family members know very often, and more often than not, the family members are aware of what is happening, that individual A or individual B is in possession of an illegal firearm. But they say nothing. And so you have a number of these crimes being committed with firearms. And I support the government in making it tough. Once you get caught with firearm and ammunition, you should go away for a while. They have to be tough on those crimes. Now, people who know what's going on and who have the information, but who sit quietly, one of two things are going to happen. It's inevitable. One of two things will happen. One, your son, your grandson, your nephew, your cousin, whatever, whoever, will use that to take somebody's life. Or two, somebody will take their life. And they may well have their firearm on them. The firearm that you know they have, that you can be reasonably suspicious that they're committing crimes with the firearm. But you sit quietly and you say nothing. And then you go, hey, how much was your hands and foot? This requires collective effort, all of us. And I'm not at all taking the responsibility away from the security forces and the government, of course, Ministry of National Security. They have their responsibility, and we can look objectively and see, question yourself about what the ministry is doing, what the government is doing, training police officers, equipping police officers. Yeah, you're hiring more, you're training more, you're equipping them. They have vehicles, they have this, they have that. So they're doing their part. Now, the constabulary itself has to come up with a plan. Sometimes you look at, you see them, one or two of them out in an area for a little while and then disappear. And I think the inconsistent enforcement or the inconsistency of policing, I think, contributes to the problem. Let me broaden it a little bit. One day, I am driving up to Glen. I make the left turn at the college gap, the Mariners Gap. And Pelton coming out at me is a minibus. And another one following. Now, everybody who drives in that area knows that you turn left at the Glen Baptist Church. You do not come out. Minibuses don't care. All right. I'm driving home Friday. I'm going up Sally Springs. Traffic is not moving very fast. Vehicles bumper. A man pulls out, overtake everybody in the corner, pull in and so on and so on. Okay. And I'm watching things. And I'm saying these things happen because of inconsistent policing. Because you may or may not be there. And the may not be there is greater than the may be there. I think if motorists know that it is more likely that a policeman will be there to catch you, they'll be in line. But they carry on confidently because they are confident that most likely no one will be there. No one will be there. Police. You have plenty of motorbikes. Go around. Enforce the law. Enforce the law. Enforce the law. You know something I noticed, Denny? But let me not say notice it. But I was commenting about it on the weekend. And we might sound like we're talking a bunch of things, but we started with the shooting death and of a elderly man, Mr. McIntosh, and we're discussing the role of the security forces, generally speaking, and how things scope creep. You're inconsistent in things, and so they get out of hand. Vincentians don't acknowledge stop signs, you know. Vincentians do not acknowledge stop signs. When you go to the roundabout, you know the roundabout is the person on the right has right away. So when you get there, you stop. Nobody stops. As a matter of fact, one guy coming from the Fountain area, I'm coming from Kingston area, he tried to beat me. So he didn't stop at all, just. Now, I've driven internationally, and I could tell you, in the US of A, in Canada, wherever, when there is a stop sign, whether it's a sign on a pole that says stop or the marking on the ground that says stop, you must dead stop. You don't roll over and slow down and roll past. You stop. You know what's creating a lot of problems? The tarmac. When you're coming out of the tarmac by Ace Day, you should stop. You should stop for vehicles coming the other way around. People don't stop. The belt out. As if to say, I remember this very famous joke from comedian, the Trinidadian comedian, what's his name again? The very famous one. Oh Lord, can't remember his name now. You know, he used to say, stop, no, speed up, who reach first, pass first. Who reach first, pass first. Nobody stops. Nobody observes stop signs. But I know, I've seen, I've witnessed a man get to a stop in Brooklyn and he roll, he slow down, he look, he roll, nothing coming, and he continue, whoa, ticket. Didn't stop. These little things, These little things. And I think they would only get better as we police consistently. And people know that more often than not, there will be someone to enforce the law. You know, in Germany, the first time I saw it, in Germany, there are no barriers in the railway system. There are no barriers. So you don't have to buy a ticket to swipe and then go in. No. You walk on the platform, you buy a ticket, and you go on the train. There are no barriers whatsoever. And I observed, because I've been there more than once in Bonn, people go into the train, buy the platform, buy their tickets, and go into the train. Orderly. You know why? Because you know consistently. You get stopped, you get checked. And if you don't have a ticket, you get a fine that is 10 times, 15 times the price of the ticket.
Which don't make sense.
It don't make sense. Just buy the ticket. So this morning might sound like I ain't bashing nobody. I just talking because we have to live in a society of order, structure, and policing and enforcement of laws goes a long way in maintaining structure, maintaining order. Whether it is traffic, whether it is the way we relate with one another, and even to the most serious crimes of murder and sexual assault and those things, there has to be. The only reason, one of the many reasons that individuals, well, not many, but would hide certain places, lay away, and look for vulnerable females to pounce on is because they figure the place lonely, place dark, and the chance of a policeman patrolling this place non-existent. So we had to work on that. The government is spending a lot of money to train, to employ, to equip police officers for us to be so inconsistent without really policing.
We have our first call, so let's go to the lines. Hello, good morning to you.
Mr. Denny, good morning, and Cian, good morning.
Pleasant morning.
Then you have to laugh. Because I know what this call is about. I know what this call is about. I have to laugh.
Cian.
Yes.
You know why I'm laughing, Cian?
I know why you're laughing. I'm laughing too.
Right. Your topic is an excellent topic this morning because the people here in St. Vincent are too lawless. And also the van drivers and the bus drivers, they do not stop at stop signs. They do not respect pedestrians when they're on the line crossing. And I have to speak out on that also because I actually grew up in that area. That anytime you make those mistakes, you have been fined. And you get demerit points.
Mm-hmm.
So your license is in some jeopardy. So we have to speak out. The policemen, them have to do their job. The government put these laws in place and we have to respect them as public drivers. And I'm a driver, and I respect that. Because a lot of van drivers will cut you across
Yep.
and they will continue going. You have to be very defensive to avoid an accident. So where are we in St. Vincent? This is one of the reasons why they say we are to a country. But we have to understand that the other big countries, we have to learn from them and make sure put these things in place and carry them out. Although they are in place, they are not being carried out. You know, at the end of the month in Canada, the police have a quota. And then if you go 1 mile over the speed limit, you get a ticket. And you can't argue. So what is happening in St. Vincent? We have to start to give out tickets. And the government going to use that money to repair the roads. So we will have better roads to drive on. So I'm happy about your topic this morning. But you should have bet me yesterday. I should have won that.
I was waiting for your patient, you know. I was waiting for you. Well, why you part of them again there, Basil?
Sports.
No, the one who talk on the business. What's your name again?
Which one?
The one who talk on the business now. That walking. He says, "See, what you doing here?" That one day. Bullet. All right, I got tell the story after you come out the phone. I got tell. I got tell the story. No problem. Thanks for calling, buddy.
We had a good time.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man.
This is a nice country, man. It's a blessed country.
Lovely.
And
Absolutely.
I'm telling all my fellow Vincentians, we have a very good government that is running this country, and we have to keep him in place.
All right.
I heard he spoke about Germany and France and England. I've been to those places, and when I see what is happening here, sometimes I want to speak out, but you know, people that say, okay, because you go abroad for so many years and you think St. Vincent should be like that, but at the same time, we are getting to be a very developed country and a multicultural country too. So we have to be proud, you know. So got so many people have scholarship going abroad. We had that discussion yesterday during my time before I went up to Canada in the 60s. There's only 2 people we remember used to get scholarship. We laughed over that yesterday.
Yeah. Yep.
So we are happy what is happening here in St. Vincent. And very shortly we are going to have more airlines are coming in here. And we're going to have more tourists coming in. And then the World Cup is coming in. And then people have to start to prepare to have a lot of homes ready.
That's exactly.
A lot of vacancies going to be out there.
Indeed.
So you continue, man. I'm back in St. Vincent now, so I will be able to speak a little bit more. And I know the government is doing a fantastic job with all his ministers. And we are building. And
Indeed.
in various areas. And hotels are going up. Man, I have never seen so many cars. Just now the government got to stop now homes that could only carry 2 cars. There's too many cars now in St. Vincent.
You're right. There are a lot of vehicles in St. Vincent and Grenadines. A lot of vehicles in St. Vincent and Grenadines. Absolutely right.
It's good. It's good development. You know, you can see, I see the youngest person and more women are driving here than men now these days. You know?
Everybody
And I'm happy for them. Okay. All right, Danny, y'all continue.
All right,
Well,
man,
thanks for your
Have a
call.
blessed day.
You too,
Pleasure.
man.
All right, take care. Very well.
So yesterday, Dennis, and if you recall, but yesterday I decided to go to Sandhill to watch some cricket. St. Lucia, Grenada. As soon as I walk in, Bullet watch me. See, and wait, hey. I think in the Cumberland, you're the other way they're saying that they want St. Vincent lose so that they can play Cumberland, single Cumberland. Wait, hey.
He's spot on.
Spot on. By the way, we came last. We came last, like 0 last.
Wow.
The Dominica that we thought we had done so great against in the first match came and beat us convincingly yesterday down at Cumberland. Also, the match between St. Lucia and Grenada, the first place match, was also a very good match. I saw at least 2-3 overs of real good pace and
By Lewis.
from Sherman Lewis, the hat-trick over. It was crazy. You know, but one of the things I saw was a lack of consistency with us, with St. Vincent and Grenadines, with our bowling. We had no bowlers. I'm watching St. Vincent and Grenadines playing and Keswick Williams commentating. You don't understand that? I thought he's a cricketer with a bowl.
Well, he is, still is. Play a lot of franchise cricket.
Exactly, but
Bangladesh,
St.
Sri
Vincent playing
Lanka.
and you commentary boot. And you are bowlers.
Oh, wait, I didn't see him in this year's CPL. He wasn't part of this.
No, he was in the CPL. He was in the CPL. And they behaved with some rudeness and they took the captaincy from him. So I think he in the last couple of games that his team played. Yeah.
Kings?
Yeah. CPL. What are
CPL.
VPL? Sorry, no.
Not talking VPL. CPL.
Listen,
I'm talking
after the little boy in VPL, how you beat you all over the place. Anybody high for franchise cricket? Anyway, I don't know when I with Keswick. Seriously, no. On a serious note, I mean, this is one of the most experienced bowlers that we have. He plays franchise cricket. In at one time, his average was one of the best. He was quick, and he was referred to as one of the best T20 bowlers at one point in time. And he's fallen off. I'm expecting to see Keswick playing cricket and Keswick doing commentary. You understand that?
Well, changing of the guard, I guess. But in the same vein, gotta take this opportunity to congratulate Hayley Matthews and the West Indies women cricket team just earlier this morning, local time. For me, a piece of history. Australia, world champions at this point in time as far as women cricket is concerned. 212 for 6, and the West Indies in response, 213 for 3. Winning with 1 ball to spare. Hayley Matthews, 132 off, 64 deliveries, some 24s and 5 sixes. A batting strike rate of over 206 point something thereabout. That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we got to give Hayley Matthews and the West Indies team, our congratulations here this morning. It's just a remarkable victory, a remarkable comeback from a team that, was still trying to find its way. Following what happened recently in the female World Cup and, things of the likes. But it's a good victory for the West Indies women.
The West Indies, our cricket is inconsistent, just like our policing in St. Vincent and Grenadines. And no, because they give us some moments to rejoice over.
Yeah.
But those moments are so few and far between. And every time we're so gullible, we go, yeah boy, this is start of something new, and then boom, we take two steps forward and 3 steps back.
Yeah.
And that is the difficulty that I have now. RJ is on the phone talking about commenting and suggesting that when people start being more harsh, then people start to cry. I am not suggesting harshness, All I'm suggesting is the enforcement of the law. Exactly. I see some situations where police.
Hold it out. We have a call. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, fellas.
Morning.
How you doing this morning?
I am well.
What is bullet?
It sounds like bullet.
Bullet.
It sounds like bullet. Bullet, good morning.
Listen, Hayley Matthews make the first match he make 99 not out.
Well, I was telling Danny that.
From the 140 something we made?
Out of 140 something, she make 99.
Wow, remarkable.
And was stuck on stuck on 99 for the last over, and the partner refused to take a run so she could get the century.
My goodness.
All right, I hear listen to you.
All right, Bullet. Thank you very much. Bullet, sell me out. You sell me out big time. But you hear Basil talk about bet. I say, Basil, this is how the score going to be. Bet me. He cover. Next thing I'm talking about, I should have bet you. No, you covered. That's how things work. But I'm not talking about being harsh, anyone. I am talking about. Oh, by the way, somebody sent me a message and told me the name. It's Paul Skin Douglas, of the comedian from Trinidad, right?
He's actually Grenadian born, I believe.
Wait, Ramon.
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah, but based in Trinidad.
But
yeah.
okay. Just the enforcement of the law. I sometimes I see videos of police officers getting engaged in traffic stops with drivers who want to be physical, scuffling up police and that kind of thing. And I am not even suggesting that they get involved in that. Look, it's simple. You meet a bus driver want to give a ticket, you give the ticket. If he wants to be aggressive, listen, here's the point. He does be on the road. So you alone, Mr. Single Police Officer, don't get into no scuffle not with no van driver. You go back to your base, you report it, and whether it's black squad or whatever, they will find the driver on the road. Don't worry. Don't worry. You ain't have to get involved in no scuffle because the ill discipline that is on the road with motorists these days, the lack of any of respect for law enforcement that exists these days, and it's not because law enforcement ain't doing or is doing anything specific. It's because people have just deteriorated and they feel they want to fight.
Stick a pin coming back to Paul Keynes. He's actually born in Trinidad, but his early childhood was in Grenada. I know there was some kind of Grenadian influence in his life.
Bunks me now. So hope you have insurance and the bunks me now. And so all we just need consistent policing that keep the drivers on their toes. Then you remember years ago, we had a cell phone law.
Yep.
Listen, it's common practice to see van drivers on the phone while driving. These are public transport drivers with a van full and one hand on the door holding up the phone by ears and one on the steering. Or the driving and texting. Listen, that is normal thing. Normal thing. In the US, which is where I did most of my driving, internationally that is. So that's the only place I could compare to. I drove in Canada, yes, and I drove in Europe, yes, and I drove in South Africa, yes, absolutely. But I lived in New York for years, and so I drove it for a long time. You are not even allowed to have the phone in your hand on speaker. And I didn't know that. I got pulled over once, Denny. Once. Driving in New York. So I had the phone. It's on speaker. So I have it down, but it's in my hand. Police pulled me over. So he said, "You're on the phone?" I said, "Yes, I am, but it's on speaker. I'm not holding it." He said, "No, you're not supposed to even have it in your hand. You're not even supposed to have it in your hand." In this country where we have a cell phone law, you see people driving, and I must say public transport on the phone for extended. This is not a 10-second or 5-second call. It's a phone call. You know something I noticed too, Denny? I know you notice it. I've been guilty of it. But people driving and there's an accident or something, and they have it. I've never done this though, by the way. I've never done this part. And they have the time to take out their phone and put on video.
Yep.
To video what's going on in the and they're driving.
Yep.
You see it all the time. You see it all the time. I have been guilty of taking a photograph while driving, but most of the times I honestly would slow down or pull over and do that. If the traffic is crawling and not going anywhere and you're not coming in late now, I tell Danny, boy, Danny, watch it, boy, I'm in traffic. So I think some things so Danny could see, boy, I'm in traffic at things tight. But to be able to be videotaping while I driving and thinking and turning back the camera and me, that don't think they. Well, you see, when when little things fester, they become big things, and then we wonder why we are where we are. I remember there's a story about a lady who had a son, and when the son was small, she never used to talk to him, and nobody could talk to me either. And it's probably just a story. Child got big and committed a crime, was going to jail. And before you sentence, the judge asked him, is there anything? See, you want to tell your mother something. And when the mother came, he told her, come close, I'll tell you something. And he bit on her ears and said to her, this is for all the times when he should have corrected me and didn't, and now look where I am. The small things in our society that go unnoticed, the small things in our society that go unaddressed by individuals, by organizations responsible for dealing and addressing these things, are the things that then turn around and fester and become big problems later on. Big problems later on. And my suggestion this morning, as I want to end this segment because I want to talk about investments, but I just had to put this whole part into perspective this morning. I had to put in perspective. We have to get, I remember pretty much this years ago, you know, we have to get the small things right. And if we can't in a country, a small country like this, with capacity that we have, with police being trained every year, recruited every year, and so forth. Every minute, look, every 6 months, look, you have new officers on traffic duties and so on. The government is hiring, the government is training, the government is equipping. So if we can't get these small things in a small country like ours, make sure traffic situation is organized, make sure that the lawlessness and the recklessness that goes on the road doesn't. One day, two van overtake me in a corner racing, and the vans were not empty. I mean, every driver in this country almost can give you some horror story of some bad stop, some overtaking a corner, somebody trying to bully you off the road, something. And I'm not talking about the police being harsh. I'm not talking about the police abusing their powers. I'm not talking about the police, ill-treating people. No. All I'm talking about is a consistent application and enforcement of our laws on the road. If they have fines, let people pay fines. But we have to make sure that we make our roads safe for pedestrians and for commuters alike. We have to do that.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, of course, we continue sharing the morning with you here on The Star. Keep it locked in.
Some of our most precious treasures, the crown jewels, the epitome of elegance. Saturday, October 7th, 8 p.m., Victoria Park. Miss SVG 2023 Crown Jewels. 9 magnificent ladies vie for the coveted Miss SVG crown. Letitia Barber, Miss Grenadine House. Denicia Botswain, Miss Metricin General Insurance Limited. Diana Fairbairn, Miss Play 4. Arena Foy, Miss Massey Stores Limited. Trina Hooper, Miss National Lotteries Authority. Lion Laborde, Miss Flo. Samisha Middleton, Miss Caress Ace Hardware. Tara Richardson, Miss JCI St. Vincent. And Royisha Telemac, Miss In Transit Exports. Early bird tickets $60. Pre-sold $75. Ticket outlets, the Lotta booth at Peace Smoke, 4 Shells, Chill Spot, Johnny's Barbershop, VJ's Restaurant, Video Extreme Entice, and Terrence Auto Care. Miss SVG 2023 Crown Jewels. Saturday, October 7th, 8 p.m. Victoria Park.
Play for and win even more. Mashing the lottery gets more cash in store. 4 numbers from 0 to 9. In $5,000 with $1 in line. Base 4 and back it's up 2. There'll be lots of cash waiting for you. Choose for Monday to Saturday. Go get get your tickets. It's so easy to play. When you play for, you win even more.
Your house, renovating or updating? We supply high-quality engineered hardwood flooring, luxury vinyl planks, and a wide assortment of stylish trims. We also supply wall and floor tiles and tiling-related products. How about your staircase? We have railings, posts, pickets in metal, stainless steel, wood, and glass to make your staircase a centerpiece. We offer personalized selection and shipping service from Canada to SVG. Contact Marlon on WhatsApp at 289-200-7649 or District Stairs on Facebook.
At the People's Pharmacy, we've put our mission at the center of our name. We are people-centered, and every day we renew this commitment to providing products and services that help our valued customers lead healthier and happy lives. The People's Pharmacy fills prescriptions promptly and accurately, and also offers a wide range of vitamins and supplements, plus generic medication for everything from an upset stomach to the common cold. We offer toiletries and baby care items, skin care and hair care items too. All that coupled with a friendly, knowledgeable, and efficient staff to ensure customer satisfaction every time you shop. The People's Pharmacy offers extended opening hours, 8 in the morning to 8 p.m., Mondays through Saturdays. For more information, give us a call at 456-1170. The People's Pharmacy. We go further to serve you better.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General, and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Sandra, where you going in such a hurry?
Y'all, I have so much stuff I need to buy. I need to get to town fast. Plus, it's end of month.
But what you really need to buy, so?
Well, I need to look for a swimsuit for my pool party Sunday. I need to pick up my medication. And I need some nails to fix the door. And I have to get something to eat. Oh, yes. And I need to buy some grease and go bank to get some money for all that.
But Sandra, you can get all those things at the Joshua Center.
For true?
Yes, girl, everything.
The Joshua Center has everything for you, from clothes to decor, and even grab a drink and lunch too. It's all here, just for you.
The following items are now on special at Korea's Food Mart with something for everyone.
Everyone? You mean them juicy riblets on special?
Yes, $7.50 per pound, and Purdue chicken franks are $7.
What about snacks?
Sure, we have 32 ounces Best Choice white popcorn for $8 and 16 ounces Best Choice honey roasted peanut for only $15.
I bet you don't have health drinks on special.
You can get the popular 16 ounces V8 Splash Tropical Blend for $8. Also, 42 ounces Always Save Old Fashioned Oats, $17.50.
Mom, do they have cereal?
Yes, 32 ounces Always Save Cocoa Rice Cereal on special for $20, and Betty Crocker Butter Pecan Cake Mix $12.
Sweet.
Also, Always Save Ultra Dishwashing Liquid is $8.50, 24 ounces Best Choice Tomato Ketchup $10, and 30 ounces G-Star Jasmine Rice $20.
Tanti, lend me the mic, please. Everybody, they have 3 bottle liquor specials starting at only $85.
Special runs from September 26th to October 2nd, 2023. Korea's
Customize
terms
your
and
kitchen
conditions.
exactly how you like it. At Jake's Kitchen, we supply natural British hardwood cabinets for all purposes, like over the hood and standard wall cabinets with wine and plate racks and different accessories to choose from. And Jake's Kitchen has the very best white and stainless steel microwaves, stoves, and fridges with water dispenser. And we've got items for other parts of the house too. Give your kitchen that posh Hollywood look for the best price in the land at Jake's Kitchen. Open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and until 12 Saturdays. Jake's Kitchen, upstairs Caribbean Glass, Grenville Street. Call 456-2126. Email sales.caribglass@vincisurf.com.
Winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it.
Play for and win even more. Mashing the lottery gets more cash in store. 4 numbers from 0 to 9. And $5,000 with $1 in line. Base 4 and back it's up 2. There'll be lots of cash waiting for you. Choose for Monday to Saturday. Go get your tickets, it's so easy to play. When you play for, you win even more.
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Tourism Authority is working with our registered tourism service providers to remain resilient and ready to serve Vincentians and visitors alike. Play your part by practicing the public health protocols and get vaccinated. Look out for our tourism-approved safe zones and always keep in a zone. Keep in a zone. A message from the SVG Tourism Authority. Keep in a zone. Keep in a zone.
You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances
Some of our most
to win.
precious treasures, the crown jewels, the epitome of elegance. Saturday, October 7th, 8 p.m., Victoria Park. Miss SVG 2023 Crown Jewels. 9 magnificent ladies vie for the coveted Miss SVG crown. Letitia Barber, Miss Grenadine House. Denicia Botswain, Miss Metrosin General Insurance Limited. Diana Fairbairn, Miss Play 4. Arena Foy, Miss Massey Stores Limited. Trina Hooper, Miss National Lotteries Authority. Lion Laborde, Miss Flo. Samisha Millington, Miss Caress Ace Hardware. Tara Richardson, Miss JCI St. Vincent. And Royisha Telemac, Miss In Transit Exports. Early bird tickets $60. Pre-sold $75. Ticket outlets, the Lotte booth at Peacemo. 4 Shells, Chill Spot, Johnny's Barbershop, VJ's Restaurant, Video Extreme Entice, and Terrence Auto Care. Miss SVG 2023 Crown Jewels. Saturday, October 7th, 8 p.m., Victoria Park.
So, you're going?
Huh?
You're going?
The only thing I'm going right now, my partner.
So,
The only thing I'm going right now, brother Denny, is the pool party.
This pool party?
This Sunday. My pool party now. Just buy a pool party. I'm going to buy a pool party this Sunday. Listen, I go with SVG because I can't afford to spend money to go with SVG Saturday night and my pool party Sunday. So only my pool party I go in this Sunday.
Wow.
Right. I get my pool party. You going?
Folks, it happens this coming Saturday, Miss SVG 2023, Victoria Park Venue. Get yourself in the venue early to be all part of it. All right?
So
what?
You and I both supporting Miss Play 4, of course, right?
Well, of course. Yeah.
Right. Diana Fairbairn.
Yeah.
Right. But isn't there Miss Lotte too?
Of course.
Okay.
And we also supporting her.
No, well, hey, you take one, I take one.
Don't put it like that, please.
I mean, you support one, I support one.
Both of them. Both of them. Both of them.
Listen to me. Let me hush you more and talk investments this morning. Eh? Let me talk investments this morning. Because look, this thing is something that has to be planned and planned properly. Now, let me go back a little bit. From 84 to 2001. And it's a part of history that you don't hear. And when, well, I guess Friday can't talk about it because he probably wasn't here. He was too busy getting his passport for his front pocket. Right? But Bramble knows about it. Between 84 and 2001, what did you have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Between 84 and 2001, what did you have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Let me tell you what you have. You had the closure of the sugar industry. Closure of the sugar industry. You had the giving away of the rum factory. You had the closure of pretty much all of the foreign entities in Camden Park. Sporting Goods, Wilson Racket. I bet you all there are, is it the young people, them? The young people who just watch tennis right now, who became tennis fans because of Serena and Venus, and now who jumping up behind Coco Gauff. I bet all they didn't know that Wilson Rackets is made in Camden Park.
Right here in St. Vincent, that's a fact.
Right in Camden Park.
Yep.
Wilson Racket. Children wear. Yep. Val used to smack. I sell. Penny, all used to smack. Many women in this country used to take bundles of fabric to do something we call smacking. And those bit of intricately done thread works were used to make fashionable clothing worldwide. That was done here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That was done in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. NDP closed between 1984 and 2001. Camden Park became a ghost town. Very own milk factory out Diamond, called Diamond Dairy. They closed that too. And not making things up, you know. So they closed sugar. They closed milk. Pampers been called Pampers. Morning. Pampers called and said, you notice when Bramble bring a black plastic bag, you ain't that about lard oil? Because we had lard oil too now.
Yep. Coconut oil.
Mm-hmm. So they closed sugar, government. They closed milk, government. They closed the foreign companies, under their watch rather. Under their watch, the companies down at Camden Park left. So by 2001, all you had were empty shells in Camden Park. Empty shells. We could talk about investments, you know. By the time they left, banana was all but gone. But most importantly, no, because I will tell you, banana was all but gone because of the removal of the preferential treatment. But most importantly, they were given time and resources to diversify the economy. And their brilliance decided they were going to put all of that into the financial services sector basket. Right, basket. No real investment in anything else, because no real investment in the diversification of agriculture, no real investment in tourism. And critical for those things to happen, you needed a trained population. There was no investment in our people to scholarships. That was when we cut it. We needed consistent, reliable airlift directly to our direct source markets. Canada, the US, Europe. No investment in that. They were supposed to be a port in Bottom Tongue. They take it and they carry it. Camden Park, it don't start to mash up. Don't start to mash up. So where was the investment that the NDP made that you could point to 17 years of the NDP and say that, look at it, it's strong and vibrant and going? They had Aki Hall, scam. They had Mongol Singh or Diamond, scam. Listen, what they didn't cost to close, they were scammed. This is the reality of what we had in between 1984 and 2001. This is what we had. I know many individuals took care of their families through smoking. Many. The NDP really can't and shouldn't open their mouth to talk about things like investments and unemployment and so on, and training and education, because we know how they left St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We know. Look, as I say now, which Vincentian can say today, oh, me and this daughter of the former Prime Minister, Mitchell, were in high school together, or were in convent together, or went to Upper Six together. Once the history was able to be educated at some boarding school overseas, didn't keep out of intention. That's the reality. That's the reality. This government came in and realized we are here. We need to get to there. Okay, how are we going to get to there? Well, we have to improve education. We have to improve infrastructure. We have to improve healthcare. We have to make sure that certain things are in place that would make St. Vincent and the Grenadines, one, a good place to do business for our locals, so that our locals can invest in business. But more than that, that foreigners, when they're looking at places to do business, when they compare, they go say, you know what, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the most competitive. Because, you know, in the region, not just our region, but other regions as well, Africa, what have you, these governments are spreading out the red carpet for investors, giving them all kind of concessions and so on. But outside of that, outside of all those concessions, what is the infrastructure like? I have friends across the globe. And you have countries, for example, Nigeria, a country rich in minerals, but no day goes by without a blackout when current goes.
Because they're rich in corruption.
I ain't going down that road. But even Nigerians will tell you that. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we're not rich in minerals, but we have a steady, consistent, reliable supply of energy. And so whether it is a manufacturing company or a five-star luxury resort, they would want to know that their guests or their products would not suffer from outages for 2 and 3 hours every day. 2-3 hours every day, delaying production, negatively impacting the quality of the service.
Case in point, Barbados just next door. They recently experienced some power outages, and immediately the Hotel Association in Barbados quite naturally started to air their concern because of the fact that the hotels were being affected with these 3 and 4 and 5 hours outages on a daily basis. You know,
of course. When in my room, when I cut on the AC in a hot country like Barbados, I paying $400 a night for US. What are you supposed to do?
As a matter of fact, they were even joking in Barbados. I saw something online recently where they said they no longer have to roast bear fruit because of the hot weather. They just want to pick the bear fruit and eat it. The bear fruit can roast one time. Huh?
Boy, I said, to the boy. Hot. So the government decided that in order for us to lift St. Vincent and the Grenadines from where the NDP had it, in the miry clay, we had to do a number of things. We had to invest in training and educating our young people to make sure that a Clare Harbor will be able to come and train people to man their things. A Sandals will be able to come and train individuals to work in different departments. A Levue would come. And also our government sector would also be able to have brilliant individuals, trained individuals to ensure that the affairs of the state are run properly managed. We need public servants. We need people out at the airport. We need people at the port. We need Linsky to manage the project. We have to train people. Hey, watch me. Under the NDP, any major project, any major development that was happening is being foreigners had to come in to manage and even work. Under our government, we have locals who are capable of doing things. No. We never had an international airport. So when you wanted an international airport manager, you have to go look for one with experience.
Of course.
But we are trained and competent project managers. We are trained and competent engineers. We have trained and competent personnel to make sure that the projects and the programs that emanate from the policies of the government are properly implemented. And that is only because our government invested in education. Linsky Douglas is a national scholar. He is a child of the revolution.
Well said. Let's take a pen and take this call. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Denny.
Morning, how are you doing?
How are you doing, Mr. Sian? Good morning.
It's a long time here, comrade. Good morning. Good morning.
Long time.
Yeah, I just want to say my condolence going out to the McIntosh family.
Yes.
And I ask them God to give them some strength. I know Miss McIntosh very, very good and Miss husband. He's very, very quiet. And with that, the one who have come at that time, that they were able to wind it up themselves to see it. Because God is looking them. That's a wicked act they have. But I want to say something this morning, Sian. On Friday evening, I went to Kingston. And there was the guys who worked on the songboard was on the road patrol. There were some guys on the side to go to the fish market and some birthdays. The people them come over on that stuff. And there was a charity. I didn't say anything right to pick up the charity because the lady was not there. To take up the charity and put it in the truck with my husband's truck. But there was a Rasta man standing there. See, and if the guy had came over and touched his bag, it had been a dead man on Friday evening. I could have been with him. I frightened him and said, the guy have a knife in his pocket. He put it out his pocket and have it in his hand. He said, I'm waiting for him to come over to touch my bag. I'll give him some stuff to it. Hey, I am frightened. I want to say to some boy, if you're doing a job, do a clean job. You cannot have some people in the market and you have some outside. Set up everybody off the road because it will cause problem in Kingston. And the first thing is going to say, we got to have one job. I don't want to hear that. So they have to get themselves serious and set up everybody off the road. We don't leave nobody at all. Because they plan, I saw one I hear a woman calling security gun and they go somebody. What life? They can't do that. You have to think about the word fears. You understand? So I want Mr. Morgan to listen this morning. Please, if you're doing a job, do it one time. I don't want any violence in Songboard.
All right.
Have a blessed day.
All right. No problem. Thank you.
But I think that's more or less the situation. I mean, the vendors are not allowed on the streets. I know, particularly though, in the central market, arrangements have been made because of the overflow. Tents are being placed on the what do you call that area now? Well, on the upstairs, that open area. Tents have been placed there, and on entry, on the ground floor, so to speak, arrangements have been made for persons to occupy those places also. But in terms of occupying the sidewalks, that's a no-no, and therefore the town board, ought to, on a daily basis, go about the daily inspections and ensure that people don't encroach on the sidewalk and there's free flow of pedestrian traffic on the sidewalk. That's the whole plan. And the situation where we had in Bedford Street, where the whole street was more or less occupied by vendors, that's no longer an issue. Yes, I've seen instances where people come and park up a van, they park up this and that. That also should not be encouraged. I agree with the call as far as that is concerned, and we need to stamp that out. Right?
I saw a post on Facebook the other day, and I could speak about it because it was a public post. It wasn't a private something. The post was made on the name of Ariston Denny, right? Your namesake, and I'm sure you are related to somehow.
Yeah, family.
Right. And Ariston was lobbying, it seemed, for vendors to be allowed to go outside because they're struggling in the market. I'm not sure how credible the argument is that he's making, but as I said, I'm not sure, because people are going into the markets, into the market shops. And the bigger issue is, and we have a call, just hold a second, caller. The bigger issue is that we should be comfortable with orders and structure.
Exactly. And you spoke about it this morning, the whole matter of the lawlessness. And if we encourage that, where are we heading as a country? Where are we heading as a people, as a nation? Let's see what this caller has to say. Good morning. All right, the caller's left us.
It's almost like if you meet a homeless person who's accustomed to walking barefoot,
right?
And they clean him up and they buy him shoes. But every day you see him, he has shoes in his hand and he want barefoot. He has to learn to be comfortable in shoes.
Yeah.
And so we're so accustomed to the lack of structure and the disorder of just vending anyhow in Kingston, that the moment we try to bring some order and structure to it, there's discomfort, there's agitation. Oh, let me go back to the way things were. Give it some time for the order to work. This idea that, people making it hard or things are tight as an excuse for lawlessness, for lack of structure, for lack of order. So the only way I can make a living is in disorder. Why are we looking for other? Look, I have walked into the market many, many times. I've never seen a vendor with a sign up that says what you're selling and how much it is. Right? You have to go, you have to ask. Very often you go into the market, vendors are huddled together talking by the thing. Put up a sign displaying your produce and the prices. Put up a sign displaying the produce and the prices. Stand apart from everybody else now. Try little things to get people to come to your booth.
Stick up in. Let's take this call. Good morning. All right, caller has left once again. Our lines are still open nonetheless.
You know, that is the same excuse that could be used, Denny. To leave the van drivers alone, man. Let them drive. You have plenty of man on the road. The competitive things tight. Sometimes you drive whole day and they can't even back your ass money. So left them at a speed and overtake and stop and stop anywhere else that is not at the bus stop. You going to New York or anywhere else, and you stop at the bus stop closest to where you're going. It's not, hey, leave me down here, so. And you ain't flagging down the bus anyway. We go, whether it's on vacation or when you migrate, we go to these countries and we fall in line.
Straight in line. Without even thinking.
We walk 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 blocks to where we live because the bus going there. But we come back home after 4 weeks in New York of using the bus stops regularly, disciplined and so on. We come back home and the very next day, hey, left me here. What is that bus stop? So order aim for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Order aim for we. Order is for big countries.
But it's just next door. I mean, you go to neighboring territories and it's more or less a situation where the order is very much in place. But caller, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Denny.
Pleasant morning. Could you just turn your radio down a bit for us, please? There's a little bit of a feedback.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But it's even getting worse, so you need to probably turn it off.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, Yes, Mr. Denny. I just want to call in towards what you all were saying about what the NDP did in their time. We had Camden Park, and we had the coconut factory out Johannesville here. They closed that. We had so many stone mills that poor people used to get work. They closed that. It has so much thing that they closed. And because of that, a lot of people go right back down in more poverty than they were in. They couldn't upgrade themselves. People get in so much poverty that they start stealing and all kind of stupidness. Those who brought on these kind of thieves and things going on and crime. I could remember some time ago in Saturday, in their time, they meet 4 dead persons in Chatibele River. They don't remember to talk all about those things. But as somebody gets killed in St. Vincent, it's the Prime Minister. I don't know if Mr. Prime Minister just walk in people's house and tell them who to kill or who not to kill. But they will have to pay for that. The young people then don't really know the damage that they do to St. Vincent and the government, James Mitchell. When he take over this government from Milton Cato, they do not know the damage that they done to St. Vincent. A hospital used to get milk from Diamond at the milk plant at Diamond. They close it down. They kill out all the cows. They sell them, they kill them out. Food a restaurant and they in government. They been getting the meat. They go marketing board and a whole quarter of cattle then bringing out a day until put in the restaurant. The money don't go into the treasury. Mr. Denny, these people do so much things. I don't see how. Anyway, the God that I saw, he would never, ever allow Vincentian to change the mind from Labour Party and go back to NDP. Because we have a just God. We have a providing God. And we have a loving God and a protected God. He is the God of the day and the God of the night. And he watch over us. And he guide us. And he would never, ever allow us to go and vote for those people for them to win that government in this country. Because it would be a national feat in this country. This country will go fall back right down if Vincentian don't keep the head up, serve the Lord, and ask him for guidance. We would be having national feet hungry, nakedness. We will go back to patching clothes and walking barefoot and we buy a slipper. And when it busts, you take a nail and chuck it in the tap to put your foot to walk in the slipper. All those things used to go on in NDP time. And when he done, he will get on the radio and tell me we have breadfruit mentality and he would have fish. So I don't know what Mr. Friday and Leakak and all of them want. They try to go and rest themselves. What the Cummins and them fighting for. We doesn't want it them. And the God that I saw, he would never ever allow that to them. Because he is a just God. Yeah. And he loves his people. God loves his children. And he will protect us. So I just want to tell them they can't fight the Labour Party. Because we're not going to move from where we are to leave and vote for them. They made a mistake. They have to go and repent. Because they're making too much alliance slander. Mr. Benny, you all have a good day.
Thank you. Same to you.
Take care.
Thanks for your call. We'll just squeeze in this other one and then we'll get back to the main topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. This is Farah Samir.
Yes, it is.
Hello?
Yes, it is. Is there radio on? Because I'm hearing an echo. Is there radio on? Because I'm hearing an echo.
No, I'm hearing an echo and you're muffled.
Go ahead, nonetheless. We're hearing you. All right, unfortunately,
because we're hearing this feedback as well. Yeah. Not sure what echo she was hearing, but please call us whenever you're calling. Please turn the radio off.
Yes.
Yeah. Even sometimes if you move away from it, these mobile phones especially are so sensitive that they pick up.
Yeah.
They pick up the sound and they create a really bad feedback for us here in the studio and for individuals listening. So once you're going to make a call, I know you're listening and so on, you're trying to connect, but once you're going to make a call, please turn your radio off. All right?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning again. Go ahead, caller. We're hearing you. All right. Caller's dropped again, but let's try this next line. Good morning. You're live on the Star. All right. But see, I think you're on to something this morning. You spoke about the fact that under the governance of the New Democratic Party, there's so many industries that we would have lost here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you alluded to the fact that we were going to talk about investments.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we've had our fair share of challenges under the Unity Labour Party. And, based on what is happening globally, we don't exist in a little box by ourselves.
In a cocoon.
Well, that's the word, right? But despite those challenges, St. Vincent and the Grenadines today, with the construction of the Argyle International Airport, we're moving along with the whole matter of port modernization. We're now placing ourselves in a position where the investors, they're rolling in, and the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines under this Unity Labour Party government stands to benefit and benefit tremendously. Job fair last week where some 500 Vincentians will gain employment through Sandals. There's, of course, the beaches, now the Sandals Resorts
yes.
under construction. Diamond Hotel under construction. Down there in Peters Hope with Pace Development. The construction that is taking place in the Rathel Mill, forgetting the name of the
Royal
Mills. All right.
And below Royal Mill, that new hotel, they just above Four Shells. Can't remember the name there. But
exactly.
There's a hotel right there.
Right there.
Very quietly. It just went up there. You
just
know what I mean?
slotted in there. Right? So I think you're probably making in comparison where back then, and Sinclair Leacock spoke about capping the investments at this point in time. But the capping started way back then. As a matter of fact, it was not even a cap. It was an instant full stop. We're not going any further.
The blockage.
With the smoking. We're not going any further.
A blockage of the investments.
So talk it up, my brother.
Blockage of the investments.
Yeah.
They dried up. It's not we were limiting the amount. They dried up. One of the biggest soap makers in the region.
Done like Copra?
Like Copra. Agreed. It's Dominica. And why? Because of the coconut industry. And we, SVG, had the second largest coconut plantation in the Western Hemisphere. And we weren't producing anything. And the little oil that we used to produce, that stopped. After the Prime Minister was quoted as talking about coconut oil being bad for you. The same coconut oil now that globally is a whole bit of money for it. And we could have been at the forefront of it. But the Prime Minister had to kill it. There was a blockage, complete blockage of investment opportunities. So our government came and realized for the investments to come, or rather for investments to increase, because we're looking at not just FDI, but local investors too. For investors to come and for investments to grow locally, we have to invest in St. Vincent and the Grenadines first. So the first investment has to be an investment in our country and its people. So you invest in the human resource and you invest in the physical infrastructure. You train people. You make sure that we have universal access to secondary education. You make sure that people be going off to university to get trained. You make sure you expand technical vocational education so that people get trained in various skill sets.
Let's take this call. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Day. I'm Mr. Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling back. I am sorry about the radio just now. Because I can't move fast. I can't walk so good now. So that's why I couldn't get to the radio.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. So, so all we just saying is before you call, just turn it off and then you make the call.
I think that we need to highlight some of the things that we've done to convince the people so that the young people that will come up and we have to run cast the egg, they should know where to cast the egg. Because we do not want to get back into that old time where they call good old days. Those are good old bad days. Because since my prime minister take over this country, he has never got to form and ask for money to pay salary. Every month, everybody gets the salary. Nobody minding wait for to pay. They cannot get the salary. But in NDP time, you could remember they went to Bantam to borrow money. And when they went there underneath the city ground, they didn't worry with that because they know they wasn't going to get it. Then they go to Banana Association and they get the money. I don't know if they ever paid back because shortly after that, Banana started to go down the road. No money in Banana Association. Then they go to Amorton, which I'm not calling the name. You never hear our prime minister them stupid old thing they. Yeah? We have a just prime minister, we have a good prime minister, and we must keep him until he decides to leave. That is my feeling. We are going to keep him until he decides to leave. When he decides to leave, we say thank him. And I still ask God to keep him strong. Because a lot of us pray for him, praying for him. I don't know what's wrong with Lisa Kandem. Nothing good. Anything good in President and Lisa Kandem eyes is something bad. And when they want to put it back, they call that good. Tell Lisa Kandem, Lisa, please, you cannot. I think it's time to go home and put them. If you have grandchildren, go home and make them, show them love.
All right, my comrade. Thank you so much for calling.
So much of wickedness. All the factories, all the closed down. Diamond Dairy. The man go out and get the sugar factory. At the time when the sugar coming in process, all you sell it. All you sell it, nobody else do because nothing been open to the public to say, well, I want to sell the sugar factory, I want to make it in the country with a drink. All we hear, all you sell the sugar factory. But we don't believe all you sell it. And the rum distillery. I don't believe all you sell those things. I take them out giving away for the money. For money.
Very well. I really appreciate your second call here on a Monday morning. Wow, 15 after the.
Imagine that, time flies, eh?
We go up to 9:30 this morning. Yeah.
Well, the caller say she believed it was given away. I could ask a question whether or not some of these transactions were done. Whether it's a question I'm asking, were they done in exchange for political campaign contributions? Were they? You see, There was so much corruption under the NDP. There was such lack and absence of transparency. We just did not know what was going on. And we always make the point here on this program that there's a difference between not telling us what's going on, which is what occurred under the NDP, and doing things behind people's back. There's a difference between that and what is happening now, where the government tells you what's going on, they bring the information to you, but you decide you're going to believe it. They lie. Based on what? And then the opposition feeds into that narrative by coming with a bunch of conjecture that they know to be false and baseless, but they peddle them anyway. They peddle them anyway. So the government invested in infrastructural development. The government invested in the human resource because we knew for things to happen, for things to take off, it is because Mr. McDowell saw the potential why he decided to expand and go into hotels. You think if the economy, according to the NDP, was as wrecked as it is and crumbling, that CK Graves would have opened a second supermarket in Bookament?
You think the economy, as you say, wrecked as it is, that last Saturday night they have bitching wine and dine?
Of course.
Down at the NDP quarters.
Place back up. I saw that.
Huh?
Koreas is expanding. They know what diamonds, and they have Ace down at Bookament. In a wrecked economy, in an economy that's in the doldrums according to Godwin Friday. I mean, just for a second, they would want to know what kind of staff we can get to staff this place. Who go and buy the thing and them down there to make having a whole building down there generating expenses feasible. And unless they are confident that these things will be viable and profitable, because business people don't get into business for joke and for good name. They get in business for profit and good profit too. It's only government that does things as part of their social responsibility, So when government gets involved, we would love to see surplus, and we manage as best as we can to see surplus. But surplus is not the main driver. So we ain't like the NDP, where we could say that we have $25 million surplus on the budget, but 60% of our 12-year-olds ain't going to school. That 27% of intentions don't poor. That people ain't getting opportunities to go study. Our physical infrastructures are falling apart. Our schools need repairing. Our teachers need training. We need nurses. We are short staff at that. A shortage of nurse at the hospital. But we have $25 million surplus. Surplus for surplus sake. That makes sense? I think sometimes I just feel like I give up on the older folk because they know. And they just playing the fool. They know, but they playing the fool. And then it occurs to me that, see, boy, it's not them, It's not for them. It's for the young people who don't know and who need the information. It's for the young people who do not know and need the information. That's why we do this. That's why we do this. Because the young people who come and meet jobs and scholarship opportunities and universal access to education and so forth, they're going to come and meet MRI and so forth. They're going to take that for granted and feel, well, that's what the big deal. That's how things supposed to be. Well, it wasn't always that way. That wasn't how things were. You come and flush in toilet, but that ain't how things been.
Let's go back to the lines. Good morning.
Hi, I'm calling from District SCG. We have a check for Star Broadcasting.
All right, very well. You've called the wrong number, but we get the message. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Next time, 453-7827. A little piece of business in the morning. It's not bad.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Well, boy, district stairs climbing up. Yeah. You know, the younger ones who do not know. If you look at things under the NDP, and I'm not getting personal, you know, but I'll tell the truth. During the NDP's tenure, friends of the NDP did well. Yep. Their businesses grew. Their business expanded to the point we could get a coconut factory and mash it down to put a parking lot. Hey, Denny?
Boy. Which is there up to today. All right?
You could take a coconut factory and mash it down. We poor people used to sell copra to make a living. You mash that down to put a parking lot.
Catch itself up to today. We have a call. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Mr. Denny and Mr. Marshall, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know if any of you guys will remember the alleged statement that was made back then between Dominica and St. Vincent where our coconut product is concerned. It was alleged that an agreement that was made between the then Prime Minister and the Prime Minister, James Mitchell, that St. Vincent will buy soap and buy all sorts of stuff from them made from coconut. I remember we used this to get soap and a lot of the coconut product coming in here. Not too long after, we hear on the television station that coconut product, especially the oil, is no good anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's full of cholesterol
Mm-hmm.
and all sorts of things. What's wrong with that coconut oil that we have here? And not too long after that, we heard that an airport supposed to be going down in the Northern Grenadines. But today we know that the statement that was made towards the coconut oil back then was not true. Because this government has run a lot of tests on our coconut oil, local coconut oil, and there wasn't anything like that. But sadly, the area where the coconut oil factory was no more. And I know a lot of intention will remember that. Maybe some of the younger people will remember. But my age group, our people will remember that. So it makes no sense today. The NDP is saying that they want to go back to the good old days. There isn't anything positive in the good old days of the NDP. So for them to say when they get back in power and they're going back to the good old days, that is exactly what they're going to do. Because you're not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about the amount of scholarship children are getting. You're not thinking about the improvement of the schools. You want to go back to the good old days to bring in all of those foolishness. You all have a nice morning.
Thank you very much, comrade. Good for who? You know, Dr. Gonzalez, speaking at the UN recently, was making the point when they talk about New World Order. He would ask the questions, the three questions on behalf of the Grenadians. What's new? Which world? And who gives the order? When they talk about good old days, what's good? Which days? And good for who? What's good? Which days? And good for who? Because they're right. There were people who got 50 cents land and dollar land. Those days were good for them.
Yes.
There were those who got a rum factory to buy. that had $1.3 million in the bank account, but paid $360,000, $320,000 for it, paid $80,000 a quarter over a year. That was good for them. To the point that you could take a coconut oil factory and mash it down to make a parking lot. It's good for them. It's good for them. You are ministers of government who was able to buy buildings all around Kingston and then rent them back to the government. The days was good for them. But for the 27% of Vincentians in dot poor abject poverty, the 40% of Vincentians in poverty, the 60% of students who couldn't go to secondary school, been good for them?
Can't be.
Which days? What's good? Which days? Good for who? Good for who? We gotta recognize that. We are not trajectory right now, and the opposition is in a quandary. It's the most press conferences I see the opposition train every minute because the news cycle is filled with opportunities for Vincentians. The news cycle, generally speaking, most of the blogs, probably except one, talking about sandals and opportunities, job fair, the UN, PM speaking, Glen prime shops and houses given away out at Orange Hill and so on. This afternoon, the opening of facility at Glenside and so forth. The newspapers and the radio stations, that's what they're talking about. And so poor old Giffrey, with his band of incompetence, they're trying to get some airplay. And of course, they have highly trained journalists who witness whatever they witness and they publish, trying to get some airplay. But we ain't want to hear your doom and gloom. We don't want to hear your messages of doom and gloom. We are not interested in your big lies and your talking points, because we are seeing what is happening on the ground. And that's good for we. We're good with that. We're good with that.
All right, well, it's now 9:30 exactly on the ticker. We've gone over an extra half an hour here on this Monday morning's edition. Started a little late, so, we sort of compensated for the late start. Thank you ever so much, nonetheless, for being a part of what we offered. All the folks who followed us, of course, on 98.3 and 104.7 on the cable box at channel 0784 on our website, star983fm.com, and all the followers on our Facebook page, the Star Morning Scoop Facebook page. Thank you ever so much for being a part of it. We're on YouTube also, right?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Right. Thank you for being a part of it. And God's willing, we'll be back with you tomorrow morning. Don't forget at 10 o'clock thereabout, of course, the Shake Up program as we link with WeFM. Keep it ours right where it's at. We'll pay some bills and then we'll come right back. I think we'll start with district stairs because they did call this morning. Promise us something.
Climb up.
Building your dream house, renovating or updating, we supply high-quality engineered hardwood flooring, luxury vinyl planks, and a wide assortment of stylish trims. We also supply wall and floor tiles and tiling-related products. How about your staircase? We have railings, posts,